So behind me here is a PlanterWorx planter. It's got several of our systems on it. The first one is our new GX7 Row Monitoring System that's being ran through the ISOBus controller through the virtual terminal. And then we also have our GX5 Hydraulic pump for nitrogen, and then a GX2 Electric pump for an in-furrow. Let's take a look at the GX7. So here are the 4 multi-flow magnetic flow meters that we're using for the GX7. Each flow meter monitors the flow of 4 rows. So you have 4 different banks, this being a 16-row planter. So this is responsible for rows 1 to 4, and then down from 5 to 8, and then down to 16. We also have the red ball set up on here as well. You don't have to have a red ball manifold. It's just in this case, he already had that on there before. Then we added this system on here. So we just utilized the existing tubing to then go out to the rows. Or else you could use the flow meters as a manifold itself. We have a different fitting that goes on top, so you can run a 3/4 inch hose from the outlet of your pump into the flow meters, treat the flow meters as your manifold, and then run your tubing down to your row. Looking at what he has on the row, from Precision, he has a clean sweep on there. He also has the speed tube for a seed. For the nitrogen, he's using Conceal. For the in-furrow, he's using a Keaton seed firmer. And then we also have the furrow force closer back here. So on the tractor, he's using wing tanks. Over on this side, something that we like to do a lot for electric or hydraulic pump systems, even if it's a mounted toolbar, is like on the other side here, or even if you wanted to do it on this side, if you have the 7x7 bar that's holding the tanks, you can easily mount a pump there. So if we look at the other side, commonly a lot of guys will put it there and they'll use our universal mounting bracket, either if it's sitting just right here or a little closer. Whatever tractor you have, whatever kind of tank setup you have will vary a little bit. So a lot of guys will mount their pumps there, or you can mount it on the planter too. So coming down from the GX7 and the manifold, we have the tubing running down to the row unit. We also use a check valve at every row. We like to use a check valve at every row with a certain either disc orifice in there or the microtube, depending on the rates that you're doing and the kind of product that you're using. We want to make sure that we can get equal distribution per every row when we have the correct size microtube or disc orifice in place. So from the tank, here's his GX5 hydraulic pump. This model specifically is the LFP 80 pump. It's rated for down to 1/2 gallon per minute and up to 18 gallon per minute. It works for almost all in-furrow rates and for a lot of nitrogen rates, especially if you're doing like 10 to 15 gallon per acre. So as we come into the inlet of the pump here, we will then go into the pump. This elbow here will come out of the pump. We have a spike valve here, and that'll open at 100 pounds of pressure. It's more of just a safety valve, so if you were to deadhead, your pressure is not going to constantly build until something blows. Your flow will just recirculate. And then from here would be your outlet hose. We go to another magnetic flow meter. This flow meter will just read the flow coming out of the pump, and then it'll report back to the controller what it's seeing, and it'll adjust the pump's rate if it needs to. And then this would be his outlet hose going over to his manifold and into the GX7 Row Monitor System. And then this is our GX2 Dual Electric Pump System, coming also from the tanks of the tractors where we're pulling product from. You will come in from a filter that's on the other side here. You will then feed to both of these 5.3 gallon per minute 12 volt pumps as we come out through another filter and then through the magnetic flow meter and then out to the rows from there, so to the red ball manifold and to the GX7 Row Monitor System. And then coming out of the GX2, this is our outlet hose coming out of the magnetic flow meter, and then this hose is going into our GX12i injector. This is our low rate injector that you can use for insecticides and fungicides. In this case, the farmer's using it for Pivot Bio's proven product. He's putting out 12.8 ounces per acre with 7 gallons per acre of his in-furrow product.